And on governance issues, because one thing that continues to baffle us, and that is probably easier to juxtapose with debt, is this wastage,
right.
The lack of accountability. And if you were to push it further and ask government to break down, what is this 500 billion for? Like, is it part of what compensation will be given to people? What is the track of the railway, etc.? But those are concerns that I'm sure, as time goes by, will be dealt with. I'm quite concerned about lessons learned on accountability. Is there anything that we have learned, both as a government and also as a people, particularly on holding government accountable? I remember even when SGR was happening, former President Uhuru Kenyatta told us, document, in fact, he was referring to, some reporters on a live interview, and it was like, amuku wapea zile makaratasi? Access to information. How much information do citizens have around these mega programs, particularly if you are to bring in issues like NIF, the NIF, the National Infrastructure Fund,
right.
Concerns around the place of parliament, the control of budget, the Auditor General? Where are we not hitting the mark, Ramogi?
That's a good question. Of course, the first conversation is transparency and access to information. The contract between Kenya and China around the SGR has not really been opened to date. A friend, Khalef Khalifa of Muhuri, went to court, I remember, in conjunction with TISA, and just requested, on the basis of Access to Information Act, for that contract. I am not sure if that the judge ruled in their favor and said that contract should be made public. I'm not sure it has come public, because I had seen several letters being exchanged for that document to come public. It has not come public. And so that I don't think government has taken it to heart that we have a new constitution that demands that when the public asks for information, it needs to be accessed. We are still operating under the Official Secret Act, as was before the new constitution. So a secret is a secret, and you die with it. We do not. I'm not sure if there is a law, and maybe one day you guys can ask some of these lawyers that come to your show, that squarely puts the responsibility of accountability on someone. I know the public, the principal secretary is the accounting officer in a ministry, but I'm still waiting to hear that a principal secretary has been, for example, arrested and incarcerated because he failed to provide information, or there was wastage in his government, in his department. We've not seen that level of accountability on an office bearer.
Yeah, we got close in NYS too, I think.
But
the cases are still ongoing rather. So we are still.
Because if I know that this is squarely my responsibility, and you see, the problem of government is a huge juggernaut. So you're not sure whether it's Kenya Railways who should take responsibility or this guy or this guy. If I know that this is squarely my responsibility and not the political responsibility of everybody else, then there's a level of responsibility that I hold on it, and that limits the amount of wastage.